Uninstalled podcast, episode 24. How have you been, man? How have you been?
Uh, I've been okay. Been chilling recently.
Oh, yeah. I had a little bit of an emotional day, I guess you could say. It was one of the work homies, one of the day ones from when I started there. It was his last day today.
Damn, not Richard fine ass,
I
bro.
know, bro. Bro was so sexy, dude. Fat ass. No, but yeah, it was his last day. Um, And I've been down just in general throughout the week, dude. Just with my fucking job. I literally had a day. I think it was like Sunday. I was kind of excited. I was looking forward to some stuff because we have this new I guess like initiative rolling out, and I was excited to do some work on it. But I talked to someone who's like in the know about it, and they were basically like, "Yeah, like that stuff's not gonna work. They're looking for more simple stuff." I was like, "Fuck, dude."
I
I was
don't know
just
why your
depressed.
job hates you so fucking much, bro. But they
Genuinely,
they hate to see you winning, bro. Dead ass.
genuinely, there was a big period of time where I was like, I have to be getting discriminated against.
Oh,
I
definitely,
and not because of
definitely.
my skin color or anything. For a
Nope,
while,
strictly because of your skin color.
because for a while, it did kind of feel like some of the girls got like better treatment from the boss over us, and they're like she respected the girls that worked there a little bit more. But then I was like, is it because of my education? Because I didn't go to college or anything. I'm just a high school graduate. So it's like, is she looking at all these other
I
people
mean,
where like literally
for
everyone
what
else there
you
has
do,
degrees?
for what you do, she's being a little bit fucking discriminatory. I will tell you that because I doubt anybody that works in that bitch went to college.
Oh no, everyone has degrees. In this field, it's like traditionally like you have degrees for it. Like
I mean,
there's
but
a
what you do, that's not degree worthy type of job.
well, because what I do is entry level. So like there's a guy that wanted to for a bit, and when he started in my position, and he had a bachelor's in communications.
Mm,
So to get your foot in the door, sometimes you got to, go through the route that I took. Oh fuck. Hold up.
bro's not been recording this entire time.
No, I just realized I said some federal shit. So I gotta make a note for me to fucking
I
um
mean, what did you say? I don't think it was anything too crazy.
I said reporter.
Oh, I didn't even hear that, dead ass.
Yeah, it was one of the homies last day, and I was kind of spoiled a little bit by my boss. Everything that's been fucking going on, bro. From I can't remember if I brought it up. No, I wouldn't have been able to bring it up on the podcast. I don't think. Maybe. Um, we basically had like a meeting. Everyone's pitching ideas, and I was told in my performance review that I needed to do more. So I've been doing more, and I pitched this idea to everyone, and then my boss goes, "All right, good meeting," and like doesn't say anything about the work I've been doing when like
Yeah,
everyone else in the
I
building has really been fucking with what I've been working on.
like I really hate to say it, but they say they want you to do more. You go to do more, and your boss is like, "You don't need to be doing all that. Make up
Well,
your fucking mind on what you want me to do."
because my thing is like I'm not saying that I need my fucking ego to be like fluffed and my dick to be sucked constantly, but if you told me you wanted me to do more, I would expect that you would have comments about the work that I'm doing that is that extra work, being like, critiquing it, giving me advice, saying like, oh, like, I know you're
Yeah,
working on this. We think your time could be better served doing this other thing, and trying to find like a happy medium.
and they never give you like any like that critique that you need.
Yeah,
They're
no.
just like, "Hey, either do more, don't do more. It's up to you, but get your shit situated." And you're just over here like, "Really, what do you want me to do?" Like,
Yeah.
spell it out for me. I'm stupid.
Yeah, put it in Fortnite terms. Because in my performance review, we had to like self-evaluate yourself, and I literally put in there that like in our area, I was like, I'm one of the best. Like that's how I feel about how um I do my job. And when I had my performance review, she was like, I agree with your assessment of yourself. So um you know,
Yeah, they gotta
I don't
make up
know.
their fucking mind, bro.
I don't know. Because when I tell you, like, everyone that I pitch stuff to has liked my ideas except them. And there's some stuff I could get into you with it a little bit off of the podcast, just because it's a little too federal for how I try to talk about my job on the podcast. But like this week especially, it's just gotten really bad where it's like any decision that is ever a good decision or any idea that's a good idea, unless it's like it, if it's good, it's her idea, and even if you pitch it, it's because it's something that like she would think of. You know what I'm saying?
So you're telling me Shorty tries to take credit for the shit you're trying to pitch?
No, not in that sense. Like when other people, like when we have meetings, we're trying to figure out like what's going on for the day or the week or whatever, and we're figuring out like who's working on what. Um, people will pitch stuff and she'll be like, "Oh no, like nah, we can't do this because of X, Y, and Z," which is just all literally based on her opinion. Um,
Gotcha. So there's no like facts behind her being like, yeah, we can't do this because
yeah, sometimes there will be like an actual thing, but literally all this week it's been like, no, like we don't think like people are gonna care, people are gonna like this thing or whatever. Like it's not gonna be like a good deliverable or whatever. Um, and it's like, well, this is all your opinion. Like, how do you
yeah.
know that this isn't gonna go over well with, whatever like company, whatever person has to do with this?
Yeah.
Um, and when people pitch stuff and she likes it, it's because they're catering to how she does things.
And I don't really blame you for not catering towards fucking Shorty because don't get me wrong, like being a little bit of a kiss ass in your line, I feel may get you up on the ladder a little bit, but fuck Shorty, bro. Like,
Yeah. My thing is, I just have a lack of patience
self
when it comes to
confidence.
people. No. I mean, I used to have a lack of self confidence, but like when I assessed myself, I literally said that I'm one of the best, like in the biz, basically. And she said she
Oh
agreed.
yeah.
It's like I'm confident in myself, like professionally in what I do. Um, if we're talking about the 4-incher, maybe that's a little bit different. Maybe I'm a little, shy, but
A little bit of a grower in our shower type shit. I feel yeah.
exactly. Um, but yeah, dude, it's just been super fucking frustrating. And of course, today I wanted to sit down and meet with her and then her boss because there's some shit that went down with like the pitch meeting, like I was saying, where like I just got completely brushed off. Um, and I was gonna make it known, just being like, hey, I don't appreciate that I was blown off like that because of XYZ. Like you're telling me to do this and I'm doing it, and I would expect that you would have at least something to say about it, either, you know, addressing what I'm doing, any kind of pleasure in like I'm glad to see you're, working on other things, that kind of shit. um and then when I talk to her boss, I'm gonna get a little bit more in detail about I'm I'm not confident in her as our boss. I don't think she's a good leader. She's not inspiring anyone to want to really put in any effort at all. If anything, she's causing people to feel disgruntled and wanting to leave. Like, we've lost multiple people that I know of that are leaving primarily because of how she runs things.
Do you guys do like surveys on each other at all?
No.
Maybe you should fucking bring that up with somebody to try to implement it, because
Like peer reviews, like when we do like our
yeah,
yearly peer reviews. Because
yeah.
you would think that something like that would be nice. Like, how do you feel about your boss's performance? You know?
Because I don't really feel like Shorty's the best boss.
Yeah. And from what I've heard from people, before she got promoted, she wasn't even good at what she did to begin with.
Sounds about right.
And she just got the promotion just because she wanted it. Basically, she just raised her hand. It's easier to hire someone internally than to pay to like put out listings and all these other things and vet people and background checks. They probably just like, yeah, fuck it, you've been here for a while, we'll give it to you. But yeah, it's been super frustrating. And I don't mean to come off like I'm saying I could do her job better than her, because there's things that she knows how to do that I don't know how to do that are kind of necessary for her position.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not saying she's like completely incompetent. Like, there's things that she does that are a reason why she's in the position. But as far as like having a motivated workforce, especially like, we don't get paid well. Like, I think I've mentioned before on the podcast, like, our competitors pay better than us by not a small amount based on how much like we're getting paid. So my thing has always been, and I've talked to people like my coworkers and been like, you would think that if we're getting underpaid, and they definitely know we're getting underpaid, that they would make a very strong effort to make sure that everyone was at least in a good mood. Everyone was, happy. Like, if you're not getting paid, you should want to work here for the atmosphere and the people and the camaraderie, and make sure that we have an actual cohesive team unit that gets along with each other. But it's not like that at all. Like, my coworkers and me, like, the employees get along, but that gets disrupted by management making fucking stupid decisions.
Yeah, I just like, I know that I'm the unemployed guy here, but I don't think I could ever see myself just working for someone like that.
Yeah, because I like, trust me, if you're thinking that this is just me hating my boss and it's just like, oh, everyone, like, no one likes their boss, I have literally tried to have dialogue with myself where I'm like, is like, do I have an issue like taking like direction from women? Like, is this a me thing? Like, like, do I just not work well like working for a woman or some shit? And I was
No,
trying
because you worked fine with other Shorty.
Yeah, and because I was really trying to think to myself, like, is this something that I'm not realizing about myself? But like, the issues I'm having with her, I've had with male bosses, and I think it's just a personality thing. Like, some people aren't cut out to be leaders.
Definitely
and, I mean,
not.
She just doesn't really have that
Leadership
characteristic.
Quality.
Yeah, she doesn't have that quality in her bag. Oh, actually, going back to being my homie's last day, he was telling me his kid got into trouble at school, dude. And he was like his kid got ISS. They got a phone call from the principal, and the principal was like, "Hey, something happened today." And this is what happened. So him and my friend's son and one of his son's friends were talking to this black girl at their school.
Okay.
And these are little kids, like 9 years old.
Yeah.
And the girl asked them, "Hey, can you guys draw pictures of me?" So the friend of we'll just call it, let's just call my friend's kid like Ryan. Ryan's friend draws this picture, and it's shitty. It's like a stick figure, and it's got like one of those circle heads. He just colors it in like with black, and then puts like one of those like I think like the baby from The Incredibles, one strand of hair on the top of the head. And I'm like, oh, that, you know, I could see like just using like straight up black crayon could come off weird. Maybe that's why he got in trouble. But I was like, he didn't draw it. Ryan didn't draw it. His friend drew it. And then he's like, well, this is what Ryan added to it. He adds a text bubble. And in the text bubble, he writes, I look like a monkey.
Yo.
And that did not go over well with administration, I guess.
Oh, definitely fucking not.
And his wife is a lot I won't call her crazy, but she's like intense, I guess.
Yeah.
And their reaction to it, which I know was kind of her reaction, because I feel like it wouldn't really be that big of a deal. They'd be just like, hey, like, you can't do that. He's a super chill guy. His wife's reaction was, they're making him watch slave documentaries, learning about the civil rights movement, taking him to like old school like Black history museums to see like, you know, the history of Black culture and like artifacts from slavery and different things, teaching about like all of that. I was like, holy fuck, I'd be so scared to fuck up with that again if they're just drilling into me like,
oh, yeah.
You're a terrible person for doing that. You should be ashamed of yourself. Like, holy fuck.
Don't get me wrong, that kid was mad racist for doing that, but I feel like being like 9 is a little bit too early to be watching 12 Years a Slave type shit, you know?
Yeah.
That shit low-key got me fucking speechless, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, which in my head I'm like, he's 100% gonna marry a Black woman now.
Oh,
100%. Maybe in fucking 20 years I'll be able to fucking report back to the podcast on if he did or not, but bro's not gonna be doing that for a while.
And in 20 years you're gonna be doing this podcast solo.
Because Dave will have committed self-seppuku.
Yes, I will have committed atrocities on my own self.
We've made it known we're some big back ass motherfuckers.
Yeah, we're fatties.
I want to know if your back is big enough for this, or if you think this is just America losing the plot. The Arizona Diamondbacks, a baseball team, are rolling out a new menu item for the stadium. Mm-hmm. They're rolling out nachos, which, I mean, they're pretty standard for everything, right?
Oh, yeah, I'd say nachos are kind of a snack you get at like every like sporting event.
Yeah, and these are like loaded up like jalapenos, sour cream, meat, so it's not just like what we've experienced at like our venues where it's just like that little plastic tray with like the circle chips and the cheese, you know.
Yeah.
But there's different sizes of the nachos, dude.
Okay.
Would you like to know what the biggest nacho size is?
Give me the smallest first. I want to be surprised.
Let's call it like
go in order.
Well, I only know the biggest size.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Give me the fucking biggest, and I was trying to be.
You're trying to build up to it. I feel it.
Yeah. And this dude's out here like, I don't want to know the other side. I'm over here like,
I've never been to a Diamondbacks game. I apologize. The biggest nacho size, 128 ounces.
Yeah, that's some fucking fat shit.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm backing down 128 ounces of nachos.
Definitely fucking not. I'll tell you that for free.
So I think the obesity rate in Arizona is going to be going up. Unless the Diamondbacks suck. I don't even know if they're a good team or not right now. So maybe if they suck, no one's going to eat the nachos anyway, but because no one will be there.
Yeah, that's fucking appalling, bro. Holy shit.
And this is a complete change of topic, but you said appalling and made me think of how you talk about like the RAM prices. Do you know? Because I mean, you're looking for RAM. Is it still like going up, or has it stayed the same?
Yes, yes. Like it's not like consistently going up, but it's still
Like every
more
like couple
expensive.
of weeks, it'll just like go up.
Yeah, more expensive than what I'm willing to pay.
Well,
That's a brokey.
yeah, I fucking feel that. There might be some good news in the horizon, Dave.
Okay.
I have just had this information come across my desk. The Disney acquisition of OpenAI has fell through.
Okay.
And it fell through because OpenAI is shutting down Sora, the video
Why is that?
generation platform.
I mean, it's good, but why are they shutting it down?
It looks like they're trying to focus on different sectors. They want to focus on robotics and streamlining automation for like factories and stuff rather than going into like video generation super hard.
Oh yeah.
It says a quote is that they want to work on applications like robotics that will quote help people solve real world physical tasks. So hopefully that'll mean we don't see all this AI fucking video anymore, and hopefully it also means that RAM prices will go down. Although I don't know if it's necessarily going to have that big of an effect, because there's been other AIs shutting down as well. Um, but with all the new data centers going in, I have no fucking like clue what goes into a data center. If there's even like
On the
RAM involved with
topic
it, but
of on the topic of data centers, they want to remove one of like the best like preserved like dinosaur like footprint like fucking spots and put a fucking AI data
oh
center
my
there.
god, dude. I can't stand these motherfuckers, dude. Hopefully they don't let that fucking happen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanted to tell you because I know you're a big big dinosaur fan.
Yeah, which it's actually funny you say that because it was weeks ago, but on the podcast, I brought up the channel Extinct Zoo, um, and how like I'd been putting a bunch of their shit in my watch later and just like never watching it, but like they made all those cool dinosaur videos where it was like, um, when the ocean like fucking evaporated and left behind a living
Yeah,
hell or some shit
yeah.
like that. Um, dude, I was so tired at work today. I needed something to keep me up, so I was just watching like all of his most popular videos.
Hell yeah.
Dude, early humans were some fucking savages, dude. And
Oh,
not in a
bro,
good way.
the amount of species we have fucking wiped out as like the human race is fucking ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, like, and I'm not gonna be able to break down all the different species. I don't, I like, I can't remember all the different ones that are involved in this stuff. But the amount of stories that he was breaking down of archaeologists finding just these mass graves of hundreds or sometimes literally thousands of early humans that were murdered, fucking beaten, and like men, women, and children. Like they're saying they have evidence of like literal newborns and like actual
Mm,
kids being some of the dead. Which like that's such a 21st century thing to really like be appalled at. Because we look at like all of nature, it happens.
yeah.
If we're breaking it down into like, I don't know, the way I was kind of thinking about it watching it was like, what if, and I don't know how you feel about this, maybe you can throw your opinion in, but like, what if sentience is born out of a lack of like imminent threats, a lack of imminent danger? where it allows for the brain to develop in a way where it's unhindered by outside stresses, and like instead of developing instincts to help you, you know, take down a saber-toothed cat, like combat like this like active predator that's like attacking your village or attacking your settlement. It allows it to develop in a way that allows for sentience, and maybe like that's what sentience is. Because I think the majority of people, when they think of animals, are like, well, that thing's not like thinking, right? Like I feel like most people think of animals like drones,
Yeah.
like literal NPCs, like AI. But because I was just thinking about it, and I was like, dude, the unspeakable acts that would have had to have been committed back there. Because, and I had to take it to this place, but I was like, dude, early humans, dude, I would have hated to be a fucking woman. And 500,000 years ago, that shit, oh my god, dude. And
would have been getting fucking ran through.
dude,
And then by ran through, I mean like the fucking
raped.
worst term. Yeah.
Literally raped.
I just didn't want to say that. Just in a fucking cave somewhere, just getting fucking gangbanged by like fucking 14
while your
other
literal
dudes.
kids are getting like their skulls bashed in.
Yeah.
Like some of the scenes I was seeing is insane, and like the amount of like cannibalism that was going on too, where there's this one site where, let's call it 400 skeletons were found, and they all had signs of cannibalism, and they were, I think it was like a conglomeration of like 5 different species of early human that lived in an area like from like the top of, man, I'm so bad with Europe, dude. I know nothing about European geography. Like as tall and as wide as the distance from like France to Germany is kind of what it looked like on the map. Like a big chunk of Europe, like Central Europe, lived all across that area. And he was like talking about what the archaeologists were saying, and it's like, was this a cannibal cult that was kidnapping people and taking them prisoner and taking them back there and eating them? And I was like, oh, dude. And that's kind of where my sentience thing came from, because I was like, a sentient creature experiencing that, like, I just can't imagine it, dude. Like, even some of the things that animals have to go through, where like there's certain predators, what is it, like hyenas, like that will disembowel and eat like their prey like while they're still alive. They won't wait for it to bleed out, like maybe like a, I don't know, I'll just make an animal like a tiger would. Like if a tiger just bites it until it like strangles it until it dies, or like a snake, I guess. I just, to experience that level of stress, that level of pain, you know? And like, I guess it kind of calls into question too, like how advanced was human emotion back then? Because we see, I think what people get the most sad about is like we see like those stories where it's like a whale mother that mourned her calf for like a long period of time, like several weeks or like a month. And we see that, and we see animals experiencing these complex emotions that I think are more so associated with the human experience. And I'm like, surely, because that emotion from the outside looks completely separate from that video of like that antelope that gave birth, and then a like a jaguar literally came up and like snatched the baby right away, and the antelope just ran away. Where maybe to the humans back then, because like like going back to my sentience thing, like maybe we've evolved in a way that allows us to feel these things, and back then it really wasn't a thing they experienced. It wasn't coded into their genetics. Their brain didn't work that way.
Yeah, because I was just about to say that I kind of feel like emotions definitely weren't the same as what they were fucking thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
And like they could be killing a woolly mammoth and its child and be like, I don't give a fuck about this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just over here like, damn, bro, like now you're just over here like, I couldn't imagine this.
Yeah, because you think about it, like if there was a mammoth today with a calf, and modern humans were set out, like a group of like 6 people were setting out to kill it, you would imagine there would be at least one person in that group that would have that reaction that like you would see in like a movie where it's like, I can't do it, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I can't. Whereas back then, like you were saying, I don't think that was coded in. Like
Coded in, yeah.
yeah, which
I don't think God released that patch just yet.
yeah, that update wasn't out yet. That was a DLC that came out way later. But I do hate
yeah.
this. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying that I really don't think that emotions were as strong as what they are now, because they really did have to fight to fucking survive, bro. Don't get me wrong.
Literally.
So their emotions had to have been shot.
Yeah, like they're finding human skeletons in caves with like skeletons of cave bears and shit, like obvious, like, and I maybe it's baked into like religion. And during this whole thing, like if you're religious and you're listening to this and you believe you're a Christian and you believe that, you know, God created the earth, the sun and the moon, you know, all that created man. I'm not saying this as a way of like, you know, saying that that's not real and like someone can't, you know, honestly wholeheartedly believe in that, and that can be their reality and, you know, their outlook on how things were created. It's just I'm fascinated with different theories and different things that scientists have to say about things. Just as like, you know, previously I've been fascinated with certain, you know, religions and, you know, praise be to Allah. Learning more about the backstory of different religions, you know, different, like, you know, like the prophets and Islam, or whether it be the apostles and Christianity. So I'm just more looking at this from like a fascination standpoint. But I if you're thinking about evolution and you're thinking critically about it, I hate that we've grown into this separation where we see ourselves different from animals. Because like I get like calling us humans, we're hominids, we're, you know, Homo sapien. I get that. But this idea that our perceived intelligence or our level of sentience that we have separates us from them on a level where we don't associate ourselves on the same level as them, when in the grand scheme of things, if you know, are a believer in science, not too long ago we were fighting tooth and nail against the elements, against megafauna in the fucking plains all over the place for survival. And you're talking about like wars that were carried out between tribes, and over hundreds of thousands of years, the series of events, evolution, just managed to allow for Homo sapien to be the species of man that my sister's bringing in food for me. Thank you.
You got your dinner.
But the idea that, you've seen the breakdowns of how many different species of man there was. The idea that one species came out of that dominant, and it just so happened to be the species that allowed for us to be here today, when like maybe if Neanderthals like continued on, maybe they were so fucking thick in the head that none of this would have ever happened, and maybe like man died out at a certain point. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta blame it on their fucking bushy ass fucking forehead thing.
But
But yeah, I feel like at some point humanity was fucking wiped out and we had to fucking get it out of the fucking mud, bro.
yeah, I mean, there's more of his videos I gotta watch, but I want to say there's a video he made where like at one point, because I mean there's mass extinction events all throughout time. At one point, I'm pretty sure there was an incident that wiped out most of man.
Yeah, there was like a whole lot of fucking death happened for, and they were just like, oh yeah, bro, get it out the mud, and only like 500 of you left. Let's get his get bag.
I like how I'm sitting here like, you know, looking back at ancient man and really deep diving into evolution and the way they were formed, and I'm getting super deep, and then you just come in like, you know, me back then, I would have just been looking at like Ugu Tepe and been like, yo, what's good, twin? We got to get
I
this
would
shit
have
out the
been
mud.
the equivalent of fucking Vaughn back then, bro.
Yeah, you would have been King Von back then. Bow and arrow. I just
that
got some
fucking
top
spear
from
and
this
shit.
fucking Neanderthal bitch. Yeah, I hate the separation that we're any different from the other animals on the planet, because I think that's kind of what, you know, comes around and causes, you know, a lot of the treatment to animals that we see where, you know, we're just poisoning their ecosystems and completely destroying their ecosystems without a care in the world, because we don't see ourselves on the same level as them.
Yeah.
When like in certain instances, like we've seen with like elephants and whales, there are animals that the way we think about emotion experience the same complex emotions that we do, mourn their dead the same way we do, you know. And I don't know, maybe honestly maybe I should join PETA. Maybe that's what this is.
I don't think you should join PETA. PETA's almost as bad as everybody else, bro.
Yeah,
PETA murders their fucking dogs they have in captivity.
I yeah, man, because just thinking back to it, like with that mass extinction event, like not every species of man was wiped out necessarily by man itself or by a predator. I was watching one of his videos. There was this smaller species of man that was just literally the entire time they existed was just getting their shit ran, dude. Since they spawned in, they were just fucking. They were the NPCs in a hack and slash server, like PvP only. There's like fossil evidence.
They were the fresh spawns of the server.
Yeah, literally. There's one specific incident where they've deduced that one of these hominids was attacked from the front by one of the big cats in the area, and that his head was engulfed into the mouth of this big cat because there's puncture wounds in the back of his skull.
Damn.
And then it just put its head in his mouth after it jumped on him from the front and just bit down on his fucking head. Like, that kind of shit is... It's just... I sit down and I think about this stuff, and I think about like what all has led up to things being the way they are today. And I think I'm kind of just spinning in circles on it, but with the sentience thing, I do think there's something to not having to necessarily fight for your survival at a certain point. Where, think about what period of time was it that like technology, like what's like the early 1900s they talk about as like technology developed faster in this short period of time than ever before in the history of man.
Yeah, because I think that's whenever like we spent like fucking 4 years like developing a fucking nuke or whatever it was.
No, that it definitely wasn't the 40s that this was happening.
Eh,
I'm
pretty
meaning
sure.
like steam, going from steam to combustion to creating flight. Like there was a period of time where a lot of shit was created. Um,
Mm,
and I think to that, and there's got to be something to like what is it? No, that's not the phrase I'm thinking of. I was thinking of something like necessity is like the mother of creation or something, but that's not what I'm thinking of. There's something to the easier life gets, the less there is to worry about, the more time there is for the mind to naturally explore other things. And then there's that curiosity. And then because maybe you have a shelter and maybe you've taken out your, the pack of predators, whatever, all the big cats in your area have been killed because you got so good at killing the big cats. Well, now you don't have to worry about being ambushed when you're outside of, your home and your settlement. You can walk around. Maybe that leads you to, being out more at nighttime. You want to expand the settlement. You don't have to worry about being ambushed when you're collecting resources. So maybe you start doing that. And it's just the lack of pressure put on. You know what I'm getting at, right?
no.
Like, the less stresses there are, the less outside factors there are to focus on. I think it allows you to focus on these different things that lead to things like the creation of the combustion engine, where you're talking about people who have access to food, water, shelter. None of that is a worry to them. They have a job, they're working at like their job. But compared to early man, that leaves so much more opportunity to, advance yourself, advance your civilization, and you have so many more tools accessible to you to do that. That I think that's kind of what led to the advancement of man over time. Just there being less stress, less pressure, um, and like I said before, like allowing a brain to not have to adapt in a direction where you're getting better at hunting and gathering, and your brain is developing more critical thinking skills because you're doing tasks. Like if your predators are all gone and you're building a civilization, and for generations, all you're focusing on is expanding your settlement, building things. You're gonna find better ways to do it, more efficient ways to do it. You're gonna say, "Oh, we use a rock for this. It's hard to just swing it with two hands. We like I swung a club at a fucking saber-toothed cat and it fucking cracked its skull in half or some shit. So what if I put this rock at the end of this club? That kind of thing. Um, and it allows for the brain to develop in a certain way. Because like, what if like pick an animal and put it in a situation where they no longer have to look for food, they no longer have to migrate, because they can live in an area like in a barn that can be climate controlled to whatever time of the year, so that way they're comfortable. I think we'd see crazy things happen, dude. I think we'd see a lot of crazy shit happen.
I mean, on the topic of crazy things happening, like with that, I'm pretty sure like we're already like domesticating fucking like raccoons and foxes, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's not too far off from like a theory and shit.
Yeah, and I feel kind of weird about that stuff. Where I'm like, I just have concerns about how much we're affecting other species on the planet because you can only disrupt the order of how things work for so long. Like the environments need the bugs that the birds eat, and then the bigger birds eat those birds, and like you know the cycle of how all that shit goes. Like
Yeah.
you can't just take an element out of that ecosystem, or say the foxes get domesticated around cities and they learn to just scavenge for food through garbage or different places. Well, then what would happen to the population of like field mice, squirrels, rabbits, would then that lead to a different predator having to come in? You know, maybe something like a coyote, but how long is that going to take? Are the prey going to, you know, how are the prey going to change in the meantime? Will the prey get bigger because they can eat, they live longer, and they don't have that hunting pressure on them from that predator? And then if a predator moves in, is it going to then adapt to become bigger? So are we going to see coyotes the size of wolves or some shit in like 10,000 years? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But maybe I'm just high. It's late. It's late when we're recording this, but maybe we could talk about early man a little bit. One of the greatest creations of early man, and you've told me this, is Fortnite. Or modern man, I mean.
Oh yes, early man.
Yes. I remember 'twas but 850,000 years ago that man created Fortnite.
Season one's the real OG over there.
Oh
Bro.
yes,
God
dude.
damn.
Epic is laying off a bunch of people. They announced layoffs of like 1,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, surprise, surprise, gaming's been laying off people for a long time. It's just, you know, the trend's continuing in a bad direction. The person who designed the OG Jonesy skin was one of the people that got laid off.
What?
Yeah. Vitaly Namushin was laid off, which I hope he lives in America, because if that name is Russian, then he might have another job soon, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. And because I feel like before like Peely like even became like a skin, Jonesy was like the kind of like the
Jonesy was the character you thought of when you thought of Fortnite.
yeah.
He was the poster child.
That's crazy, bro. They said, "Fuck you, find another job."
Mm-hmm. Which, speaking of badass humans talking about early man, I forgot. Fucking Chuck Norris died, man. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
One of the fucking ghosts, dude. Because I was talking to someone, I don't think it was you. Maybe it was.
But it really does suck that like in like his later years he was like a fucking like big Republican. But I can forgive him for just being such a fucking cool dude in his fucking early years.
You're telling me if Sydney Sweeney was a MAGA hat wearing Republican, that you wouldn't still motorboat if you had the chance?
Yes, definitely not.
You wouldn't?
Well, first she has to wear the MAGA hat. And then I will definitely motorboat. The MAGA hat does but yeah, like it sucks that bro kicked the bucket. R.I.P. mans.
But I was talking to someone. I was trying to figure out who do we have left from the OG Westerns? Is it just Clint Eastwood?
Yeah, and I think he's on his way out too.
Yeah, because there's a period of time where he was directing stuff, but I don't think he's directed anything for a while, so that's probably not a good sign.
Yeah, I think he's stopped like doing movies like altogether, sadly.
Mm.
But I might be wrong. I don't know. But because I haven't seen him like do like any movies lately, so I think he's just done with that portion in life.
Mm. Well, he's lived a fucking great life, I'm sure, so. He's left a legacy behind for sure.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever? I've seen bits and pieces because I grew up in a house full of women. How familiar are you with the Bachelorette, like the Bachelor?
Not very. I don't think I've ever watched any of those.
Mm, okay. Well, have you ever seen? Did you ever see Drewski's parody? Could have been love.
No.
Oh damn it!
I've seen like clips of that on like YouTube and shit like that, and that's it.
Well, basically, they find a girl, and then they get a bunch of dudes to simp over her over the course of weeks, and she gets to know them, and she'll be talking to Chris, and she'll be like, "Oh, Chris, you know, you're really the only guy here that I really feel like I have an honest connection with," and then she'll later in the episode go on a date with fucking Ricardo. And Ricardo will be hitting her with that fucking Latin swag, and the next thing you know, Ricardo's fucking tongue is all the way
Ricky
down her
Martin
throat,
out here
unbeknownst to Chris.
fucking
Um,
yeah,
and it's
crazy.
just a lot of drama mainly.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't think I've ever like seen that like at all.
Well, another show you're not going to be familiar with, that can relate to The Bachelorette. There was a new season of The Bachelorette that was getting set to air, and the star, the not the bride, the single woman,
Mm-hmm.
was on a show called The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Mm.
And there had been some controversy with this woman on that show regarding her relationship with her and her ex, which they have a kid
Okay.
together.
Damn.
Trouble in Paradise, am I right? Which also, the people being on a game show competing for the hand of a single mom. Ugh. Ugh. What does this fucking society come to?
I mean, there's a single mom I'll happily take the hand of.
Yeah, we've established that you'll take what you can get.
Oh, I was talking about a fucking shorty you
Oh,
and I both know.
yeah. Which you've been fucking something mad hard. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, there's some controversy between them. The season was getting ready to air, and then a bombshell dropped from TMZ. A video came out of this woman just absolutely putting the motherfucking dukes on with her fucking ex.
Damn.
Putting him in a chokehold, just slapping him, trying to fucking beat the. I was gonna say she was beating his ass, but she's like probably like 5'6", and he looks about like 6'2", so it's like it looked. I would say she was beating his ass, but he had like his phone out. He was just like stop, like just basically being like don't keep beating me in front of this camera. Don't do it. Oh my god. Imagine if a lawyer saw this. Fuck, that would suck.
Bro liked it. Bro liked it.
But like apparently she threw like a chair at him, and then the chair deflected off of him because he's just a mountain of a man, just chiseled, jacked. It ricocheted off of him and like smacked their fucking toddler in the head or some shit. So this comes out, and then ABC starts panicking, and they canceled the season days before it was gonna premiere because of this bitch domestic fucking assaulting her boyfriend.
The shorty in this story getting a DV is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That's not something you hear too much of. It's just the shorties beating the asses, you know.
And the fact that like, you know, domestic abuser getting rewarded with like a fat paycheck from the studio for a show like this, it's like, bruh. What you could say,
Yeah.
all these rappers beating their baby moms, signing record deals for millions of dollars is the same thing, and that would be fair. That's fair.
Eh,
Oh, so it's different. It's different, huh?
It's different if the man does it, because that's right. That's been right since the 50s.
That's one of the things that early man understood well.
Yes.
Bringing it back to the
Especially-
beginning of the show.
Especially with the mass graves of the women and children. Pulled the Anakin Skywalker right there.
Oh God. But yeah, dude, and just looking at her, I'm like, this is one of the, like, the fakest people I've ever seen in my life. She's just, I just literally fucking dropped my phone. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Dumbass.
That's the video if you want to check it out, just to see it for yourself. But I've been staying tuned in with this a little bit, and I've been seeing some what TMZ was saying. And
I'm sorry, but she looks like a fucking Jew, bro. Her fucking nose is
oh my
massive.
God.
Yeah, she beating his ass.
Yeah.
Beating the fucking bricks off it, dude. Holy shit.
But I've been staying tuned in a little bit, and TMZ came out and basically put it out there that the producers for the show would have known about this video and still decided to go ahead with it, because apparently there's conversations internally about who's to blame for this, because they lost millions of dollars obviously on this product that's not going to make it to air. Like, they sold a bunch of ad spots for the commercials, so they lost big time on this. But it seems like they did it to themselves. At some point someone turned a blind eye to it and said it's not that big of a deal. They're like, no one will care. And they still decided to go ahead and do it, so they shot themselves in the foot. So
Yeah, that's kind of on them. Maybe you shouldn't get a domestic abusers to be on your famous TV shows.
right? Which, actually, it's funny that I brought up rappers and I'm still going on a McDonald's fry like a fat ass.
Fat fuck.
I was talking about rappers being domestic abusers signing record deals. Designer actually literally just got locked up for domestic violence, and he looked like all depressed in his mugshot.
Damn.
I know. Made that bitch look like a panda, bro. I have a question for you. This is a very deep question. A very question that it's definitely a first world problem. Do you think
first world problems in third world countries be like that?
Yes. Do you think that oh fuck. Do you think that media companies should, how do I want to put this? Do you think that someone with a social media problem, like overusage of social media, has the right to point the finger at the company that made the platform?
Okay, you're gonna want to have to repeat that.
So if someone's like, I have a problem with Instagram, I use it way too much, it's ruining my life, I feel like it's causing me ADHD, like it's giving me problems, do you think they have the right to point the finger at Instagram and say, you did this to me?
No. Because you can always put down your fucking phone, bro. Turn it off. Close the app. Go to a different app. This is all user error, bro. It is all their fault.
So you would say, then if someone countered you and said, well, these companies designed their algorithms to keep you on the platform, would you say that that's kind of just like a null argument?
Yeah, because everybody does that. Like, if you're so obsessed with a single app that's all you watch because it like gives you the content you want, I feel like you're spending too much time on the app.
Yeah, because I mean,
but that's
websites for like the New York Times are designed for you to keep reading articles. Magazines are designed to keep wanting to get the newest issue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But in reality, who's bought a magazine in the past 5 years?
That's true. So the reason I ask you this, and I wanted your opinion, apparently the courts disagree with you. A woman took Instagram and YouTube to court. I think they just took like Meta to court.
Mm-hmm.
And they were found liable for her social media addiction and were ordered to pay $3 million in damages.
Yeah, can I take him to court?
Class action lawsuit? What? Yeah, I think respectfully, with the utmost respect, I think that's some pussy shit. I 100% agree with you. You have the responsibility to, like, everything's going back to what I was talking about. You're not a Neanderthal. You have the wherewithal to recognize when you have a problem. Alcoholics know that they have a problem. You know what they do instead of fixing it? They drink more so they forget about that they have a problem. You are a person who, you've gone through millions of years of evolution to get to this point where you have all these modern conveniences. You have it in your brain to say, I gotta put this down. And you're not doing it, you're doing it to yourself. I'm sorry.
Like, you can easily just be like, oh, this is doing a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I need to turn my phone off for a little bit. And you're not doing that.
If I'm YouTube, I'm like, how am I responsible for you being easy to manipulate?
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry. I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah. It's like
you're just weak fucking minded.
It's like you're with your girls and one of your girlfriends is telling you that she just got back together with her toxic boyfriend that all of you, like your friend group, hates. You can't hate him that he's able to convince her to get back together with him. You have to tell her that she shouldn't be fucking doing that. It's gonna be bad for her. But she should fucking recognize if everything is telling her, like, what's on social media right now? It's all people being like, touch grass, like, I need to get offline. This app sucks. Like, whatever. The algorithm's too crazy. Like, you have it in you. Even these people that are in these abusive relationships, they know that it's a bad situation. In some cases, they literally can't get out of it. If they're living with the person, they're like, he's literally going to kill me, or this person's fucking Ruby Frankie, whatever that bitch's name is. Like, if you're her boyfriend, and she's like, she's gonna beat the fuck out of me if I try to leave the house or some shit. She's gonna throw a bar stool at my head. Like, you can recognize that you're in a bad situation. Whether or not that means that you get out of it is, you know, in some cases dependent on your own actions. And if you're not taking those actions, like if I'm the judge of this lawsuit, I'm like, so you have an addiction. Have you ever considered taking steps to step away from this? Have you ever simply tried turning the phone off?
Yeah. Like, you have the knowledge to be like, this isn't healthy.
Yeah.
Like, let me seek help. Like, even if it like doesn't fucking help me at all, let me try to seek out help just in case. You're not fucking doing it, bro. What are you doing sitting on your couch scrolling through Instagram even more?
Yeah. But I mean,
the bitches be crazy, bro.
The precedent has been set, so this isn't going to be the last person that tries to sue one of these social media companies, because now there's a case to set the precedent, and now this case will be cited whenever a case like this comes back up. If I'm these companies, honestly, bro, behind closed doors, I'd be trying to appeal the fuck out of this, and whatever court jurisdiction is the most beneficial for them to win the case, because this shit is not good.
No. Like, it's fucking horrible. Like, if you're suing Instagram because it's too addictive, you are a fucking Neanderthal, bro.
Literally, bro. Literally. Um, yeah, it's late, so we're not gonna be sticking around for too much longer. Before we head out, I want to know how excited are you for this regular show reboot?
Very, very excited.
It's right around the corner, dude.
Yeah, May 11th, bro.
Which
Cannot wait.
I guess there's already some teasers out. Which I haven't seen them. Oh fuck.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from like all like leaks and shit.
Yeah, which what do you want to do about watching the end of the show? Because we've never finished regular show, because for the longest time, I don't know if it was the same for you, but I was like, I'm not ready for this story to end because I feel like it would reshape how I look at the entire thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, what are we gonna do, bro? How are we gonna finish it?
I mean, we can probably just like 3, 2, 1 it on fucking Discord.
That's kind of what I was thinking. If anything, I might try to watch like the CJ arc again, because I know the beginning, like the pre CJ stuff, like the back of my hand. But maybe rewatch the CJ arc leading up to the last season, and then we could 3, 2, 1 the last season.
Yeah, because I always try to hit season 7, and then that's whenever I'll just stop.
Yeah.
So if we both hit season 7, we can just 3, 2, 1 it, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Hell yeah. Because I want to sit here and like ask you for predictions, what you would like to see, but because I'm missing context, I'm like, what if like it's literally stuff that happened in the final season and we just don't know because we never watched it?
Mm-hmm. I would be fucking mad.
But yeah, it's a good time to be our age, dude. We're getting some fucking heat coming up.
On the before we leave, there's something I do want to talk about. So on the topic of Disney, right?
Yeah.
We both know you're not the world's biggest fans of Star Wars Fallen Order.
Mm-hmm.
I bought both of them for fucking mad cheap, like $10, because they were on sale for the Steam sale, right?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying them. I would like to know why you don't like them.
Well, first he's ginger. Hey, gingers.
Understandable.
No, I mean, a lot of it is that they moved on from The Force Unleashed. There was a story that didn't finish getting told, and Cal Kestis is so obviously, and I mean, maybe it's shallow to say this, but it comes off so obvious that it's like a Star Killer-esque stand-in, which, like, how different is a Star Wars story compared to another Star Wars story? Like, the arcs they go on, it's all literally the same shit told from like one of two different perspectives. As far as like the actual game goes, I think when I played it, because I played a little bit of the first one, it just felt not super fluid to me. Like the combat with the locking on, I hadn't played like a Souls game before that. So it felt a little clunky. I'm sure if I played it now, I'd like the gameplay a lot more. But yeah, I honestly, if I'm being real, it is just me white knighting for the Force Unleashed a little bit. I'd be lying if I didn't say it had something to do with it. But I do remember not really caring for the gameplay at first. But like I said, I think I'd like it now.
Yeah, because whenever I played it, I think the only Souls game that I played was like Bloodborne or Dark Souls 3, and I was like, I don't know how much of a fan I am about like the Souls-like content, but playing it now, I like it.
Oh yeah. I mean, enjoying Star Wars these days is rare, so at least you're able to enjoy it somehow. Because Lord knows the movies and the TV shows aren't a good place to. Which I still haven't even seen the last season of Andor, dude. I haven't had Disney Plus in so long.
I need to watch the Ahsoka show. That's the one I need.
You
to
do
watch.
need to watch that, yeah.
Because I feel like I've just been putting off watching it. Because
Yeah.
I've been watching like all like the original trilogy like primarily recently.
Yeah, because every other show that Star Wars makes, except for Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, which I know you watched Obi-Wan.
Oh, the beginning of that shit was fucking horrible.
Yeah. Which I
But
mean,
they kind of
maybe,
redeemed themselves with Obi and Darth Vader fighting.
which you'll probably agree with what I have to say about it then. But I'd say every show that they make, except for those two, I would tell you not to watch. With Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, if you're a fan of old Star Wars, I would say even if you start it and you don't like it, watch every episode purely for the fan service.
Mm-hmm.
Get your little taste of nostalgia, like experience the fan service, and I think it's worth it to get the satisfaction of seeing that stuff, because I've even said, like, Obi-Wan, outside of, the Darth Vader stuff, telling the story of the relationship of Obi-Wan and Anakin post his turn to the dark side, everything, every scene, every shot, every line of dialogue that isn't that sucked. It was bad. I didn't like Reva's storyline. Her surviving an attack from Darth Vader completely contradicts every story we've ever been told about how powerful Darth Vader was. Yeah, it's like, oh, but he stopped the ship in the sky. Well, if he can stop the ship in the sky taking off from the port, then how the fuck didn't he kill Reva? And there's no way he's stringing her along this entire time, like keeping her alive on purpose for this story. There's no way. Because you could argue, oh, he was manipulating her through the Force and was keeping her alive because he wanted her to attack Obi-Wan and kill him because she ended up trying to attack him. Well, I think Darth Vader's whole point has been that he wants to kill Obi-Wan by his own hand. Like, that's what he did in A New Hope. We wouldn't want anyone else to take him out. That's why in Legends he had someone like Starkiller kill everyone that he couldn't be fucked to deal with. So, for me, Obi-Wan was a little bit of a frustrating watch, but getting that, Hayden Christensen, which I'll never understand the Hayden Christensen slander. I'm glad he got his moment at a Star Wars Celebration with everyone cheering for him. That was a great moment, but yeah, I'd recommend Ahsoka though for the fan service.
Because that might be something that I sit down and watch this week whenever I'm not playing Armory Forger.
Yeah, I mean, you wanna end it there?
Yeah, we can.
All right. This has been the Uninstalled Podcast, episode 24.